Welcome to the Dynamic Duo. Today, we have our lovely assistant. To set it up, you take your disc, put it on top. Depending on the width of your horse, you can adjust how far away the Duo is. When you think about standing on it, at first, we'll do our foot here. Eventually, to make it harder, you can put your ball of your foot on here. You can demo. Yep, nice and even. Or ball of foot on the black dot. If needed, when you first do it, take a chair in front of you so you have some support, knowing that this might be challenging. So as you're standing on it, one of the things that you want to make sure to keep an eye on is have a nice bend in your knees, just as if you were riding. Standing alone might be challenging, thinking of looking ahead where you're at, and then noticing, do your feet wobble about? This might be where you just start. With the Dynamic Duo, you can also do posting, remembering from the standing that you want to have a little bit of a bend. We can see here with Ashley that she wants to rotate her foot in, so it's getting, you can find, yeah, and then here we go. So some of this is really hard that you might just need to at first assess on the ground, can I post without doing funky things, and then take it to the Dynamic Duo. If needed, if your knees are going places, you can put a band around and that will help stabilize. There's nothing wrong with modifying. So then I want you to think like you're going to post down and swing back up and then down. Depending on if you are a jump rider or a dressage rider or Western rider, your stirrup length will tell us how far down you need to go. So if Ashley was to be a jump rider, we would be down to here and back up and down. A dressage rider, you don't have to come down as far, but it's good to practice everything. With the Dynamic Duo, we can practice riding our horses for real. You could grab a weight here, the Equine, so this is a 4-pound weight. And now that alone adds some challenge to it. And then can you think about turning through your center, your belly button? Bring your arms with you. Imagining your weight. This could even just be a dog toy for, just having something in your hand, and then you can turn back. You might be posting and turning. You don't need to do that just yet. That's down the road of practicing a bunch. If you're a jump rider, you can squat down more and then turn. Oh, yep, and stay down. Good, and then turn the other way. And yes, there she just turned more than we necessarily would on a real horse, but it's okay to practice the extremes. For ankle mobility, start with one foot on the ground, and as you have your other foot on the Duo, you can rock back and forth, side to side, circles, so you're feeling what you do in the rest of your body. So Ashley just moved her hips, keeping your hips nice and square. You can do this seated, having it underneath your desk while you're working. People get very creative with this. And then once you do both sides, then you can stand on both of them. Now, can you rotate through one of your ankles while maintaining the stability in the other? This, in essence, is you talking to your horse with this side of your body, and this side of your body is now, or whatever body part we're stabilizing, is stabilizing yourself through the conversation with your horse. You might find that you are easier to rotate one way or the other. Also, go into your toes. Don't be afraid to push down on your toes. You'll feel some activation through the front of your body. With this, eventually, you could also add in your posting, your turning, combining a bunch of our videos and segments together, but eventually. Thinking about our hips, those are one of the most vital parts of the riding. We want to sink down into our riding squat position. Then I'm going to stand in front of you to show. With one hip at a time, you can go up, down, forward, back, and eventually rolling in circles, forward and back. Yes, I know when we ride, we don't ride the back hip rotation, but we want to be able to train both sides so that we have evenness throughout our body. So as even you're just playing here, you can wiggle and kind of dance around. Imagine you have a hula hoop on. Get into one hip, get into the other hip. Notice if your feet do anything interesting in between. This is just a good check-in. If need be, you can first do it with no duo, warm up your hips, and then come and do it on the duo. Again, everything can be modified. If you need to hold on while you're doing this, absolutely, that's another modification. When you're cantering, when we're on the real horses, we have one leg out in front of the other. I'm exaggerating here. We're gonna exaggerate a little bit just so that you can find that motion in your hip. So depending on where you want to, the mountain you want to train, you can move your dynamic duo a little bit or a lot. So we're just gonna move it a little bit. This would be us being on the right lead because the right one is farther forward. So now you can hop on. And then yeah, from here, you can swing your hips as if you're cantering, noticing what your foot does, what other body parts do. You can practice turning as well, yeah? You can pretend like you're counter cantering and turning to the left, even though we're on the right hand lead. And it's just getting a little goofy, yeah, but catching your balance as you shift around. If we were gonna do the left hand lead, I'm gonna have her do a wider stance. Yes, this is technically way more than she would need to do on a real horse, but this helps to train all those muscles and stabilizers and then pretend to canter. Yeah, and we can see that it's a little bit harder. It's just a little bit different. There you go. Thinking about jumping position, we put our little bend in our knee, find the softness of your hip, and then when we ask for a jumping position out of our body, we want to imagine that our calf is still and we just hinge at our hips. So you're going to bend back. Ooh, yep. We're going to show you what your body might be inclined to do. So from your lesson, I want you to think about hinging your hips back. I had my toe there as a little bit of support just to help her. And then she'll slide forward. Yep, keeping that knee. Send your hips forward again, like you're standing up in the saddle. Yep. And then you're going to hinge back. The chest, the back just happens to come down because the hips are moving and forward. And I'll let you hop off for the rest of this video. You can hinge deeper. This would be a bigger fence, and come back up and hinge to a smaller fence. Save yourself. I just had to activate my core more. Hinge deeper. Take your time. I've been practicing a lot with that. So ways to make this harder. Ashley here, this is her first time doing this, so she might show you the things that you may or may not do. And if you do some of the discrepancies and things, take your time. Don't make it harder too soon. You can pretend to have reins. So I just have a standing wrap here. You can use actual reins, baling twine, your dog leash, and you take a chair, pretend to hold your reins. So rocking the chair back on its hind legs. Now you can pretend to ride your horse with your elbows moving. And you'll notice if the rope bounces, if you give too much and the chair goes down. And then you can also practice your, on your horse, walking around, moving your hips on a walk a little bit, yeah. And then we just saw that her hands kind of stalled up from her hips. Now you can pretend like you're trotting, and can you coast up and down without moving the chair? So that means you're gonna have to go through your hands, yeah, through your elbows. So this is a way you can ride your horse, ride a chair. You can also take weights. This is 3 pounds. You can simply hold it out in front of you like we saw in a previous video. You can hold them here separately. And as you're standing, I want you to just move one way or the other. We can do more traditional exercise routines on the duo that still apply to riding. Thinking how we need to have elastic elbows. Can you slide back and forth? Yeah. You're on like a really big cantering horse. Good. And then a way to help activate your core more too, put one arm up and one arm down and switch and switch. Feeling how you just wanted to get into your lower back. You stay in your riding position and switch. That's just a couple examples of what you can do with the weights. You can hold a heavy weight down here on just one side as you go up and down, and then the other side. Think of what traditional exercises you do at the gym, and also just kind of goof off a little bit. If it feels hard and you can control your ankles, control your rider position, and it's not too much of a strain on your body, just explore and try it too. Things to be aware of as you're using the dynamic duo: if it shifts around a little bit, that just means you are pushing it potentially as your foot is going at a twist. So being aware that you're keeping the middle of it in this circle. That being said, let's say you misplace these, you can still do it without here. Just being aware to, if you're on carpet or tile, hardwood, then being aware of where your body's at. There's absolutely no problem with putting that chair in front like we had in a previous video. It's okay to, get on it narrower to start and then eventually working your way to a wider stance. Just make the modifications that your body needs. Another modification is you can take a block of wood, a stack of books, something that makes it so that you have a stable surface for your one foot while being at the same height as your other duo. And then you can focus only on the duo leg as you're doing your squats, any of the exercises we've covered, and you can do your ankle mobility with your hips even versus one leg on the duo and the other not on the duo. So now, because our hips are even, as she rolls around on the duo, she'll be able to see how things get impacted in other parts of her body. Thank you for investing in the dynamic duo. If you have any questions or follow-up that you need help with, you have my email address. You can reach out, and I just hope that you are inspired to keep doing better for yourself, for your horse. And I'm here with anything that you need. There's products and things and resources on the website, as well as follow me on social media. We'll be posting more and more things, and I just look forward to hearing how you're doing.